Alright, y'all, I gotta make this quick video and then I gotta get in the house because I'm still on spiritual curfew right now. Um, so many downloads today, so many things, but memory and self-sabotage. Memory and self-sabotage. I say this because the last few videos, comments, months have been absolute hell, but they have been hell of my own making because I was not thinking clearly. A lot of the things that I've been doing have not been with clear thinking, essentially. And so as I am now, I can see, I can connect the dots and trace it back to where I fucked up. And essentially it boils down to I fucked up because I said something out of spite and emotion, and this triggered a chain reaction, and that chain reaction has now been 8 months long of just constant back and forth. Excuse me. At which point I've just been very antagonistic and angry and upset because I wasn't looking at the root cause of it, and the root cause was actually something that I quite honestly had completely forgotten about, because to me it wasn't a very hurtful situation, but I failed to put myself in another person's shoes, and so ended up causing pain and trauma on both ends. And it's just a really selfish endeavor, very immature, a lot of ego and pride. Many better ways that could have been handled and communicated through and worked through. As it is, I'm not really sure where that particular relationship stands as of right now. Yeah, but I am thankful that the person involved is actually so loving and so light and gracious that I had to remind myself that I'm not here to judge people. And as much or as little compassion as I tend to have for myself, I need to have a lot more for other people, because we all have shortcomings and we've all have pasts, and like we've all been through shit. There's really just, there's no reason to try to put other people down or say that you don't want to be around certain people because of the way that they are. Part of the spiritual journey is really, you have to meet people where they are, because where you are as yourself and where someone else in your spiritual group, family, tribe, whatever, or even just the people you come across on the street, you don't know where they are or what their stance is in the spiritual realm, right? So it's like, who are you to judge? We're all spiritual beings having a human existence, and in this particular case, this portion of the human existence took me about 8 months to come to terms with. It literally just took me 8 months to get of a clear and sound mind and thinking, and this is coming at the end of literally having to fast from people, alcohol, weed, sex, like TV, like everything, essentially, even food, to get to this point. And it's kind of scary, quite honestly, because it means that I was so wrapped up in so many different things that I wasn't properly prioritizing myself, spirit, family, anything, quite honestly. And so I can see the repercussions of this. I'm actually thankful for this whole COVID thing. It's funny because at the beginning of this, I was like, I'm going to get all that time back that I spent last season was a waste and all this other bullshit. And it's like, no, now I look at it, like, no, I'm really getting this time back, because that last season was actually a blessing. But as I came out of that season, I fucked it up because, again, pride and ego, right? I thought I was a shit. Like, I didn't really need other people, but I kind of needed other people. But I wanted people to do what the fuck I wanted them to do. And you can't control anybody. You can only control you. greatest lesson I've learned um, coming out of all of this, quite honestly. And yeah, man, it's all about respect and treating other people how you want to be treated and appreciating what you have, because the moment you don't, it's gone. Um, but I got some dry skin right there. Yeah, it's so unfortunate that this happened this way, and I can honestly say it happened because of fear. I had a reading, and the reading said that there's some really good shit. Two readings actually, really good shit was going to happen, and I knew based on some of the things that were said in the reading exactly who was talking about and like how this was going to come about, and yet the fear and the self-doubt and the self-sabotage came into place so heavily. Even though I was warned you need to be of clear and sound mind in order to, avert some of these crises that are upon you, didn't do it. Not sure if got the blessing or will still get the blessing, or if it's even possible to get it at the later date. But I am very grateful to have been blessed with the lesson, because it is now added to my wisdom. And really that's really all that we can ask, especially with our time on this planet. I saw Dick Gregory, Twisted Storytellers, last night, and I was listening to it. At the end, he said, you're dumb at 7 years old, and you're dumb at 97 years old, but you should still make sure you listen to what it is the people are saying, so that you make sure you don't repeat the same shit. And it was really just profound, quite honestly, because I'm like, yeah, not everybody who grows old has wisdom. Some people be doing the same shit, truly. And this is that phase where we're no longer doing the same shit. Also, side note, I looked out of my window this morning, or this afternoon. It took me a really long time to get up. I've kind of been in a state. I did like my 45-minute Zoom call for the day, and then I was back in it with Spirit, and we were in deep communication with one another. But there was a lot of sunflowers in my backyard right outside of my window, and I was like, where did those come from? Okay, cool. Like, when I finally did come outside, the flowers were blooming and everything, but I found it so interesting, the sunflowers, because the icon on my phone of an iPhone has also switched to a sunflower. And so I looked up the spiritual meaning of a sunflower, and it has a lot to do with joy and self-acceptance and self-worth, and really just uplifting that. And so it's interesting as well, because I was going to buy a yellow candle the other day, and I thought about it, and I was like, no, I'm not going to get it. I think I'm going to go back and get that yellow candle or two, just because of all of this. Because yeah, this is one of those times where it's like my self-worth and my self-compassion have been traditionally low, and had it been a bit higher, I would have figured this out a lot sooner. But I'm again still grateful for the lesson. Everything happens for a reason. Nothing that is for you can miss you. I truly do believe that. So with everything that's going on, I'm in a very happy place. Growth is painful yet necessary. It's kind of like puberty. This is literally spiritual puberty for me right now. It's weird as fuck. You go through all those growing pains, and it's weird and it's awkward and it's messy, and like you feel like shit, and then you look back on those years and you're like, oh, cool, look at me now, right? And I'm still in the awkward growing phases, whatever, but hopefully this can help somebody else as they're going through their shit. And you guys can elevate. We'll all elevate together as we're diving deep and breathing that new air. Peace, y'all. Have a good one.